So today we are talking about sensory pleasure, so pleasing yourself. And for me, this was super important to bring Terra in to speak on this. As many of you know, I am so rooted in the number one thing you start with is what brings you joy, what pleases you. Usually any question I have in a rehearsal or a workshop or choreography session, the answer is, well, what brings you joy? What brings you joy? I think actually somebody the other day posted on Facebook something like, oh, should I let my hair go gray or not? And everyone had their opinion. I was like, what brings you joy? Does it bring you joy to color your hair and go like, oh, cool, I've got rid of my grays? Or does it bring you more joy to be like, I cannot be bothered to color my hair today. I just want to go around gray. Like it can be, and it can change week to week. There is no right answer. It's just what brings you joy right now, this week, in this moment. So the reason this is super important in the world of burlesque, in the world of our lives, is that I would have a lot of people come to me in classes and not know. And I go, well, what brings you joy? I'm like, I don't know. What music do you like? I don't know. And it's because they've come from a controlling relationship or just a controlling environment. And that can be a controlling relationship like a partner, that could be a parent, that could be just roommates that were controlling, that could be a group of friends that are almost controlling because they always want to go to that restaurant, they always think you should be wearing that kind of label, whatever it is. So if you've been in that environment, you're going to find life super difficult. So if you had parents that were like, you need to go to college, you'll be great when you go to college because you didn't want to be there. And if you had parents that were like, you know what, you should be musical. Let's buy you a piano. Let's get you piano lessons. And you're like, I don't want to do that. No, it's okay. We'll do, no, it's great. We'll do it. And then they're like, oh, you never practice piano. We spend all that money on that piano and you're not doing your piano. Why are you not doing piano lessons? You're like, okay. So you do your piano lessons and you're not good at it. And you think, why am I such a failure? Why am I so terrible? Why am I so terrible at piano? Because you didn't want to do it in the first place. And that's the thing with your burlesque act. If your burlesque act doesn't come from a place of joy, if all of your life choices don't come from a place of joy, and you're like, I just love this piece of music. Oh my God, I desperately want to wear this piece of costume. Oh my God, this concept is just so firing me up. I can't wait to get in the rehearsal room. I can't wait to get this on stage. I can't wait to share this with my audience. That is the feeling I want you all to go to the show with. Not, oh God, I have to do my act tonight. Oh, I have to go to rehearsal. It's like, I cannot wait to show the audience this act. So some of you will know Terra Ace. She's also I'm gonna say past student. You're current, but you've been around for a while. You're not just jumped into the world. Terra has journeyed through body recovery in every sense, mental, emotional, and physical, to find the joy in their radical body pleasure. Terra uses their sense memory training as an actress, energy work as an assistant to energy healer, as a giant FU to the conditioning of shame culture to give you an experience that will enlighten and enrich your connection to your body's sacred and natural pleasure receptors. I've been waiting so long for this session. So I'm going to hand it over to you. Mwah, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you so much. I am so thrilled to share this with you all. And I'm so thrilled to be able to do this with Vixen in your membership program, because I just feel so aligned with your mission and your work. As a person myself who was raised in a very strict, controlling environment, I realized that I did not know who I was as a person at all, because I wasn't allowed to explore and experience the things that brought me joy. So, you know, when I was younger and I wanted to play the drums, my parents were like, that's for boys. And I had to play the flute, and I hated the flute. And exactly what you're talking about, the piano. And I threw my flute out the window. I hated it so much. And what happens is, not only just in a sense of being in a controlling environment in your childhood, but being in like a censored kind of world, being in spaces where we can't be our full free selves. And that can happen in any form, right? So that can happen whether you're a child and you have strict parents, or you have a strict, tight religion, or a tight set of morals, or whatever it is that maybe you don't personally feel aligned with, or you do feel aligned with, but there are some things that stop you from being your full authentic self, because you are afraid of shame and stigma and being rejected. And all of those fears pile up on ourselves, and they stop us where we're at. They stop our growth, they stop our self-love journeys, and they stop us feeling good about ourselves. And I realized when I started doing acting training, I very first started, and I had to live in my senses because all of the work was sensory approached. And I had no idea what that meant. My instructor was like, just live in your senses. And I'm like, What are you talking about? I'm alive. How is that not enough? And it didn't make any sense to me until I started doing this work, because what I realized was I was living through the world connected more to my brain than I was the rest of my body. And the reason for that was I've always been a naturally sensual person, but in the kind of culture that we have where we attach sex to everything, I was heavily sexualized. And I didn't like being sexualized when I was just living. Like, I'm just existing here in this body. I'm just enjoying the wind on my skin. I'm not here to please you, but because pleasure is something that is seen and like wrapped up in this taboo, it's immediately sexualized. And so when I shut that off of myself, I then shut off my ability to live in my senses. So I had to go back and rehabilitate that connection to myself. And what I learned is that there are so many people living in their heads with very limited access to living in their bodies.